Many thanks, Jama. Welcome to Sports News. The House of Representatives have condemned the non-payment of allowances to the players and officials of the Super Falcons who recently won the African Women's Cup of Nations in Cameroon. In a passionate debate on a motion sponsored by Representative Ayo Midiran, the lawmakers criticized the deplorable manner the players were treated. Our correspondent Lanre Lasisi has this report.
Chances really on the day.
Members of the Super Falcons team lifting the African Cup of Nations trophy after defeating the Cameroonian national team in Yaoundé, the country's capital. 2 weeks after that joyous moment, they're marching the streets of Abuja to protest the non-payment of their allowances.
The steering committee to be vested with
the matter is also being considered in the House of Representatives. Representative Ayo Midiran, the sponsor of the motion, said the girls had been treated badly.
Has it become a crime to make your country proud when even those that played the final and lost have been celebrated by their own country? The president called them, honored them, appreciated them, and the winners are here languishing, unattended to, uncared for.
Supporters of the motion spoke passionately on the matter, expressing their displeasure.
Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, this must stop. We are preaching corruption. We can preach from today till tomorrow. If we don't take care of these basic little things, we are not going anywhere. Because why will I work for 35 years and I have to tread the street of Abuja protesting to get my allowance? It's the same spirit. And this evil spirit must die in this country.
we had in World Cup, it was a Chinese, a bit Japanese, or Hong Kong. Somebody was one that paid our hotel bills. To get that money back was even a problem. Nigeria cannot say, they cannot say that we cannot afford these things, Mr. Speaker. They cannot say we can even, okay, don't even give them money, but treat them well.
The lawmakers have urged the Nigerian Football Federation to pay the backlog of unpaid allowances without further delay. The House Sports Committee has also been mandated to ensure the implementation of the resolution and report back to the House in 4 weeks. The lawmakers then rose to give the Super Falcons a standing ovation for winning the African Cup of Nations for the 8th time. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
And we'll continue to keep an eye on things there. Well, Real Madrid extended their unbeaten run to 36 games by beating Club America 2-0 to reach the FIFA Club World Cup final, while Karim Benzema gave the European champions the lead with a clipped finish after a Toni Kroos pass. Cristiano Ronaldo sealed the win and a place in Sunday's final against Kashima Antlers by drilling a second in added time amid some confusion. Referee Enrique Cáceres briefly asked for a video assistant consultation before allowing the goal to stand. Well, that's it on Sports News. I'm Millicent Unwokais. Back to you, Jama, for the rest of the news.
Thanks, Millicent. Investigators of the crashed Airbus A320 say they found traces of explosives on victims of the crash. Though the cause of the crash is yet to be established, flight MS-804 on its way from Paris to Cairo was said to have plunged into the sea on May the 19th, killing all 66 people on board. Automated electronic messages sent out by the plane showed smoke detectors going off in a toilet and in the area below the cockpit minutes before the plane vanished. Recovered wreckage shows signs of damage caused by high temperature, and there was soot on the jet's front section. There are suspicions terrorists may have brought down the plane, but no group has come forward to prove that claim. Now, humanitarian groups working to pull as many people out of the Syrian city of Aleppo say they've succeeded in evacuating nearly 1,000 civilians, 26 of them wounded. They're working round the clock and are hoping to double the number by the end of the day. The evacuees are being transferred to rebel-held areas in neighbouring provinces. Evacuations had to be stalled on Wednesday when an earlier agreed ceasefire collapsed.
Of intensity and bombardment into this small area in which thousands and thousands of civilians are packed. It's almost certainly a violation of international law and most probably war crimes that are being committed right now as we speak, because you cannot possibly distinguish between civilians and fighters in this way and under these circumstances when they're all packed in so close together. Well, I think the obligation is on the government of Syria and its allies to allow people to evacuate if they want to, and clearly many of them do. That's an obligation under international law, that they should be allowed to get to safety. And the medical situation, the injured, the wounded, the sick, also that's a legal obligation for the government of Syria to get them treatment if they can, and clearly they could. They had a deal in place, and the buses were all ready, everyone was ready to go, and then it fell apart and the bombardment started again. So that's another very grave violation by the government.
And the main news again. The President today paid his first official visit to Lagos as he commissioned newly acquired and locally fabricated naval vessels. President Muhammadu Buhari commended the Navy for utilizing domestic resources in building the ships and supporting items made in Nigeria. Also today, the Senate refused to confirm the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ibrahim Magu. The upper legislative chamber cited security reports as its reason for his rejection. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Good night.